Hi learners, welcome back to DHILK. In this video, we are going to discuss about the naming of alcohols and phenols. So what are alcohols and phenols? Alcohols are the compounds which has hydroxyl group, OH groups attached to the chain, and phenols are the aromatic version of alcohols. Okay. So before moving to the video, if you guys didn't watch the previous videos about the complete concept of naming of the organic compounds through IUPAC and common naming, first go and watch those videos and come back here. Okay. So first we can discuss the rules for IUPAC nomenclature of alcohols and common naming of alcohol. So we know functional group in alcohols it is OH, right? OH, hydroxyl group. So in IUPAC naming, OH will come as a suffix. Suffix means we know the general terms, right? That is prefix plus word root plus suffix. So suffix will come after the word root. Okay. So in IUPAC nomenclature of alcohols, OH group will come as a suffix. And what is a suffix? Ol. So you got this point, right? Now we can check what are the procedures. First we have to select the longest chain containing the OH group. So for example, if this is a chain group, if this carbon atom OH is attached, then which will be the parent chain? This is the longest and the parent chain, right? And we have to select this chain. Then what is the next rule? Number the chain so that OH gets the lowest number. So we have to start the numbering from this carbon atom so that this carbon atom will get 1. To the carbon atom where the hydroxyl group, OH group is attached, that should get the lowest number. We should not start from this. We can start from either from this way or this way. But we should start from the carbon atom which has the functional group. Okay, this is applicable to all type of functional groups. And here we can say for this, we have to start from this carbon atom. So what is the next? Remove E from alkane before adding ol. So generally we know for butane. What is butane? Word root for the chain where there are 4 carbon atoms, which is butane. So here we have to remove this E, then add ol. So that is butanol. Okay, methanol, ethanol. So for example, ethyne, ethanol. Okay. Then next is that if there are multiple OH groups, more than one OH group, then we have to use diol, triol. If there are 2 OH group, then we have to use the term diol. If there are 3, then triol. Okay, we can see some examples later. Then next is common naming of alcohols. So what is common naming? In common naming, the general term is alkyl alcohol. Okay, alkyl alcohol. So for example, CH3, CH2, OH. So this is alkyl, which is alkyl part ethyl. So this is ethyl alcohol. Okay. So like this is simple, right? So according to IUPAC naming nomenclature, we have to add ol at the end, butanol, alkanol. Okay. And in common naming, we have to use alkyl alcohol. Okay. Now we can see some examples. CH3OH, methyl alcohol. There is only one carbon atom and the word root for one carbon atom is methyl. So methyl alcohol according to common naming. In IUPAC naming it is methanol, alkanol. What are the term? Alkanol, and here it is alkyl alcohol, right? Alkyl alcohol. So next is 3 carbon atoms. The word root is prop. So that is N-propyl alcohol. Then for IUPAC naming it is propan-1-ol. If there are 3 carbon atoms, then we have to mention the positions, right? So propan-1 alcohol. So we can see the difference between propan-1 alcohol and propan-2 alcohol. Okay. So the propan group is CH3, CH, CH. So if it is propan-1-ol, then the OH group is attached to the first carbon atom. So CH2, CH2. Okay, this is propan-1 alcohol, propan-1-ol. Now what is propan-2-ol? Propan-2-ol is CH3, CH, OH. If the OH group is attached to this carbon atom, then this is known as, this is propan-2-ol because the OH group is attached to the second carbon atom. Okay. Now next is CH3, CH2, 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 OH. How many carbon atoms are there? 4 carbon atoms. So that is butyl alcohol. And in IUPAC naming, it is butane 1-ol because the OH group is attached to first carbon atom. Then CH3 thrice C. So this group in common naming for this CH3 thrice C, that is tert butyl group, right? So you have to know about the isopropyl, tert butyl, neopentyl, these terms. So if you guys didn't know, then go watch the previous videos about the common naming of organic compounds, then you'll be clear about those concepts. Okay, in IUPAC naming, that is 2-methyl propan 2-ol, 2-methyl propan 2-ol. We can check the structure C, CH3, 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 OH. So which one is the parent chain? This is the parent chain, right? The chain with the 3 carbon atoms and the hydroxyl group attached to the second carbon atom. So so the name is there is to the second carbon, there is a hydroxyl group attached and a methyl group attached. So 2-methyl propan 2-ol, propan 2-ol. Okay. So next is CH2CH2OH, OH. So if that is structure is CH2 OH, OH. So if two OH groups attached to the adjacent carbon atom, that compound in common naming, it is ethylene glycol, ethylene glycol. Okay. And in IUPAC naming, that is ethyne 1,2-diol, ethyne 1,2-diol. Now next is CH2OH, CHOH, CH2OH. Means CH2, CH, CH2, OH, OH and OH. So this compound, this is glycerol. This compound is known as glycerol in common naming. In IUPAC naming, it is propan 1,2,3-triol. Propan 1,2,3-triol. Okay. That's about the IUPAC naming and common naming of alcohols. Now we can check for phenols. So for phenols, IUPAC naming, the rule is OH is directly attached to the benzene ring and the parent name is phenol. Okay. To a benzene ring, if OH group is attached, and this compound is known as phenol. This is phenol. Now numbering start from the carbon atom containing OH group. So from here we have to start the numbering, and substituents gets the lowest possible number, and we have to number in such a way that they should get the lowest possible numbers. Now in common naming, we have to use the terms ortho, meta, para. So what are these positions? Ortho, meta, para positions are, if OH group is here and the next substituent is at this position or this position, this is known as ortho. Okay. Or if instead of that and the substituents are here, and then this is known as meta. Okay, for this position, this is meta. And if instead of that, if the OH group is there and the substituent is at this position, then this is known as para position. Okay. So basically, ortho, meta, para, the positions are 1, 2, 1, 3 and 1, 4 positions. Okay. Now we can check some examples. So look at this. C6H5OH, that is phenol, and IUPAC naming for that is hydroxybenzene. So we use this common naming phenol generally. So generally we use phenol instead of hydroxybenzene. Okay. So but you have to know hydroxybenzene and phenol both are same. Then ortho CH3C6H4OH. O is for ortho. So that means to a benzene ring there is a OH group and SCH3 group attached. So what is that CH3 group attached is at the ortho position. The structure will be like this. To a benzene ring there is an OH group attached and a CH3 group attached. So this compound is generally known as cresol. Okay. Cresol is for, according to the position, the cresol we can add ortho or meta or para according to the position of the methyl and OH groups. Okay. Generally, if in a benzene ring there is an OH group and CH3, then that compound is cresol, and according to the positions it will vary. So orthocresol, metacresol and paracresol. Clear? Next is 2,4,6-NO2 tri-C6H5OH. So that compound, which is an important compound, the structure is like this. To a benzene ring, OH group is there. At the second position there is a nitro group NO2, and at the fourth position there is a nitro group NO2, and at the sixth position there is a nitro group NO2. This compound is known as picric acid. Okay, picric acid. That compound is picric acid, and generally it is known as 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. So you will see this name as well as this name. So you have to know if it is picric acid, that is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Clear? Now you can do some problems. I have given some questions here, so you can just try to solve these questions, and answer is given in the next slide. So just try this one and you can match with the answers. Okay, so these are the answers. First do the questions yourself, then compare with the answers given. Okay, so that's all about naming of alcohols and phenols. Rewatch this video if needed. Thanks for watching. Let's wind up here. Okay.